morning. It's again Friday for a really long time. Actually, not that long time. It was last Friday we didn't have a live because I was ill. I was actually quite ill, but I put the announcement in a community tab that if somebody checked that you would know that there was no live last Friday. Today we have live around an hour. It depends how my voice will carry. It turned out to be that for several weeks I had a lung fever, and it got actually to the point that it was really hard to talk and even stay up. Spend a week in bed wondering that what is this flu. And that's why I might cough today. I have my second cup of coffee today with me, something hot to drink, and I'll do my best that my voice will carry because today we have interesting topic. We are going to talk about oh, spelling mistake, cover letter and CV generally, and I have a bit examples for you because now I have worked with several people who have applied work in Finland. They have sent insane amount of uh, job applications out and they haven't brought the desired results. One guy sent 400, another sent 200 applications out, and practically zero results, hardly any responses. But that statistically, that should not be possible. You should always get at least 2, 3, 4%. At least that's my experience. That if you send 100 applications out, several of them should bring results by statistically. And if it happens that there are no results, then there has to be something wrong in a system. Maybe not wrong, but something to tweak that we would get those results. So that's why, oh, damn my voice. That's why we start going through CVs and cover letters, and I'm really happy to review them. That's something I do when I have a free time. I have several CVs in queue because I just couldn't do when I was ill. So practically we are around 3 weeks behind the schedule, at least the schedule I have made for myself. And I have a couple of free courses. Actually, they are free for people who took the occupational safety training, something for their CV to look good, especially if you want to work in a so-called high-risk working environment. And those are delayed a bit. it, it looks like they will start on January, early January, because I'm still supposed to take it easy. Of course, I'm working with the computer, I'm staying inside, I'm doing my best, but yeah, I can't take that pressure to push it ready and get it done. I want to sit this illness away and be in a good health next year because this was something I haven't experienced before. I took not took, I had two training courses, Sunday and Monday. And if you were part of that course, yeah, you remember my cough. It was really bad and it was hard to keep it under control. But before we jump here, I need to adjust a couple of settings. It's again that we haven't had for a while. Haven't had it for a while. What is this live stream? So we don't know how it's going. I need to check that the systems are working. I'm opening also a copy here for me about the live stream that I can see it working, and then I also need to see the comments. Let's see, let's try to tune this a bit. sign in for the chat. Looks like I'm thrown out. Wondering which I'm using a wrong. I'm using wrong browser. It's always like this with live stream, but luckily I can cut it. Cut this coughing and cut these setups away from the edited version. I think this from today we will get one online. So here I'll go for the content, and because I can see that they have changed the settings a bit. Okay, I have a wrong name. It's not 29th. It's not 29th. It's actually Friday 13th. Yeah, this one I didn't notice that it took the old topic. And then I'll save settings. Now we will go back to content to see that if, yeah, now it says Friday the 13th. Now we are ready to go. And I'll open a link here for me too. And testing and the chat works really well. It's 5 past and we will be soon starting in couple of minutes. Looks like my browser is now in the right place, and we will have around 1 hour session here. But yeah, let's start slowly rolling. And our today's topic is about the cover letters and CVs. I'm wondering, should I fix that one? I'll fix that one because it's way better. I can't change it later. Didn't change how I wanted it. I wanted to like this. Okay. Now we are good to go. Yeah. About our today's topic. Our topic is a cover letter and CV. And why did I pick the topic for today exactly about the CVs and cover letters? Because it's something what people do a lot. They send them out, and they should be already perfected. Especially if you have sent 100, 200, even 400 applications, these things should be in order. But today I'm going to open how they look to my eyes, that if I would get them in front of me, and what would be my initial thoughts about the CV. And then cover letter is also really important tool for us. But yeah, let's let's move. And I can see that it removed one slide, but that doesn't stop us. uh, First, we have an example about the cover letter. This is from really nice guy who sends a lot of applications out, and they don't bring desired results, that it's even hard to get to a job interview, that you could show your personally and get them that feeling that what kind of worker you really would be. And this is from his cover letter. Actually, it is a whole cover letter. But first, we need to dive into the idea that what is cover letter. And when I have thoughts that I'm wondering what is it, and I need to get the definition, I actually use a lot of AI. I try them, I ask questions, and they are like coworker. And let's assume that we have no resources where to look at what is a good cover letter. Let's ask from the chat GPT. What is cover letter and what is a purpose of it? And I want my answer in bullet points. What do we get? Let's see. Okay, here it gets. What is a cover letter? Short description. A cover letter is a one-page document typically submitted along a CV or resume when applying for a job. It provides an opportunity to introduce yourself, highlight your qualification, and explain why you are interested and suitable for the job. Exactly what I have been talking with the guys, because this is something you can make that personal touch and write uh, freely, because the CV, it's in a format. It usually experience first or education first, and then everything just uh, is built from the same blocks. So cover letter is something to stand out. And what you can have there, okay, of course, at first that you should introduce yourself. Then showcase of your interest is listed here. What does that actually mean? That you can tell about if you have interest suitable for the task or the work environment you are applying. And then highlight your qualifications, that here you pick those qualifications and trainings what will perfectly fit for the job. You can also demonstrate your knowledge. Here on the list it says that if you know that they use some specific software, you can put it out. You can tell that you're familiar with that work environment. And then I noticed the one really interesting cover letter, that when one guy was putting out the expertise and skills they have, it was that they put there what kind of effect they did for the work environment compared to previous situation. That case was when they got the new system in use, and they used it to study the process, tune the process. And that guy put out that, for example, he was taking that system in use and tuning it, and they raised production, for example, 33% or something like that. So it's really up to you. And here is the document which will be different from another workers. So you should put effort. I have noticed that people put more effort in the CV, and then the cover letter is just a short text. It actually should be vice versa. At least that would be my opinion. And then what is missing from all the cover letters I have gone through? Because if you send an online application, it asks a couple of documents. The cover letter is actually the document you're going to open the conversation with that recruiter. So you need to have their call to action. At least I would put it that in the end, you will uh, show that you would be willing to know more about the work, encourage them to tell more about that position itself, and then offer that you could come personally to show yourself and and have an interview same time. But let's see a bit our first example, and that was just a small definition of a cover letter. If I want to summarize cover letter, it's your document to open conversation with recruiter. There, you're going to have a personal space to introduce yourself, emphasize the skills which would fit exactly for that job, and then in the end have a call to action. It's like a conversation with recruiter. They are going to read it. That's why it has to be clean and simple and tell a lot of things in a very short amount of text. So we could say that it's a compact. But let's see what are my thoughts with this cover letter I have here. And with this guy, really nice guy, we need to rebuild the cover letter for a bit better match. But let's say that first starts really well, that I am so and I study in this institution. And then sentence after it, that with a flexible schedule that allows me to work part-time or full-time anywhere in Finland. Uh, Personally, I would leave this out because you have already stated it by applying for the task that, hey, I am interested, I would like to work with you, and you are basically asking for the interview. And what is the another thought I'm getting here is that, hey, this cover letter is not personalized for this job, that maybe he or she is sending these letters out in bulk, going through the lists and applying for any position that opens. And that one would lift a couple of red flags, at least if I would be picking people. Because I want that if you apply for a job, that you at least customize the paperwork to fit it and then show you that you are active in that way. Uh, then next one. Okay, what would I put it instead? Part time. Yeah, I would maybe put fill with information that yeah, I'm studying on this field and I would like to find a work which would support my studies, let me learn more about the field and so on. Not to state that you could work anywhere in Finland, because can you, if you are studying in university, how you can pick a city where you are going to work? It doesn't just work out like that. Just what I would be thinking if I would be going through this application. Then I have extensive experience in manufacturing, industry, logistics, warehouse, packaging, cleaning industry, hotel, restaurant roles, and so on. That's a really good list of experience. And that one can be told in a CV if it fits for the job you are applying, that you have all this information stated out there, so maybe you don't need to put them here. Uh, then the last part of this short cover letter, that I am hardworking, detail oriented, skilled at managing time efficiently whenever working independently or in a team and so on. Uh, this is a bit general information to put out. There's a really good details that, yeah, okay, hardworking, we are detail oriented, and then we have skills managing time efficiently, really important skills. Uh, they could be here, no doubt. But then next one, this one sounds a bit AI created, or at least I have seen it in so many series that it already starts to raise red flags. I'm sorry, I say the CV, I mean the cover letter. It says that I'm eager to contribute my expertise while learning and growing in this role. That's maybe I wouldn't put it here. that should be also definition that we learn why we are working. So I don't think that we need to mention it again. But what I would change here, maybe I would ask that, hey, I'm eager to know more about the job itself, about the position. Can you tell me more about the company and what the job actually involves? A bit better description. And that's how you open the conversation with company. And we did that with one guy that in the end of the cover letter, we mentioned that, hey, I'm really interested about the job, but I want to make sure that I would be good fit for you. And can you tell me more about the work itself? And what happened? That guy got the invitation to come and visit the recruiter. And the recruiter actually told about the job, about the company he would be working for. And then they went through the products they would be assembling on the line and answered to a lot of questions and spent time with that guy. And that's already a really good example how to open the conversation and raise your chances. And we don't know yet about the results. Did he get the job? But it looks really good because recruiters won't be pulling out people among 300 another applications just for fun and spend time. So he is a really serious candidate for that job. Hey, we have a couple of more people online. Say hi in the chat. I'll put you a hi here. So nice that you joined us. And this is something we also record for people who couldn't join. I know the Friday morning is a bit bad time, but this is the time when I start my weekend and I need at least 1 to 2 a bit easier days in a week. So I use this to cut my workflow. Okay, let's move on. So this one was the example of now I'm trying to form it nicely because the guy is really nice. We just need to work with the cover letter. Uh, this is something, yeah, you send to many companies and it's not specified for that task and it doesn't bring results. I'm sorry, it doesn't. But it has a lot of good to grow. Uh, let's move a bit further and I have a next example coming. Um, I had to cut the document into smaller sections because if I would put it on screen, it would be really small and hard to follow. I need to work on a format if I want to review CVs online and show tips and tricks, but that's something I'm going to work with. and and maybe next time we have a bit different format. But now we have visited in Canva. That's a good website. If you don't know what is a Canva, go to canva.com and create a free account. And there you will have insane amount of the templates, almost any template you can image and you need. So that's a good source. But what is a good to remember with Canva? Templates are free, available to everybody. So customize them a bit, at least change colors there. Because when I have, for example, 100 CVs in front, I start to get a lot of same CVs. They look really nice, but they create a bit gray mass, at least when I'm going through them, and it's harder to handle. And especially harder to stand out from that place. So this is from the almost next to really good cover letter. We made changes for this cover letter and then we got our desired results and we actually landed to interview. So It starts clean. This is the very top of the cover letter. But you can see it reads a cover letter here. Why? Do you know what could read here? Here could actually read the job you are going to apply. Cover letter could, if you want to use the letter text cover letter, put it in the up corner or something and put here the position you're applying, like a food packer, assembly line worker, and so on, and then your contact details next to it. Now we have a really good start, and we can go from this point. The start is good. It caught my eye. So let's see what we have next. Uh, then text started. Date is there. Okay, really good because uh, when I have documents in line, some of them might be really old, some of might be newer. So it's good to see that from which time is this document. December 1st, really good. But here again, pay attention for the format. How do you put timeout? That got to my eyes. Then it says hiring manager, and then dear hiring manager. Uh, Recruiters has names. They sometimes don't feel like they would be people, but believe me or not, they have names. And in this area, I would put, for example, dear Sophia or whoever is the person, and then maybe leave the titles away. Just keep it simple because now if I read this cover letter, it says hiring manager Armstrong Ammattiturva, dear hiring manager. I get a bit lost at this point, but it's a good start because we appointed this cover letter for somebody. Maybe not didn't hit the target, but the start is good. So let's see what we have that we are applying for the position of food worker. I introduce myself as a hardworking and reliable person with positive attitude. Really good. Top on. What companies appreciates? They appreciate precise people who work hard. They tell if there comes problems, like for example, you can't get to work on time. It's way easier for them if you tell in advance that, hey, I'm facing a problem here. Sorry, I'm coming an hour late. Or in the previous evening, you send a message that, hey, I have kids ill. Sorry, I can't make tomorrow's shift. Because the earlier they know, the easier operation is for them and they can actually batch people. It's not a problem. Then it says, I always prioritize safety and hygiene, and I have a both hygiene passport and occupational safety card. Okay, good information, but we already have mentioned most likely that in our CV. Then I'm excited to learn new tasks and to work, and then I have underlined a bit text. Work in fast-paced industrial environment. Therefore, I'm fully ready to start this job and contribute to your company at my best. This is again very generic and maybe feels a bit IE helped uh, content. It's a it goes almost in the category where we have that we need to create filler. Another what raise red flags is a filler words and so on. But you can pick a good things from this. You can better say that, yeah, that excited to learn new task, that say it, I'm interested to learn new about the work you are offering. And then mentioned that I'm familiar with industrial work environments. And and then I then in the mention that therefore I'm fully ready and so on. You can mention just that you feel that you're a good fit for the job, and you are available to start at any point. It depends how you form it. So we had a good strong start with couple of changes. And let's see what we had next. We are now going through with the same document. So I'm just cut I have just cut it into small parts. Then it says, in my previous part-time food packer job, I gained expertise and so on. Uh, leave a part-time out. It's not the employer's task or duty or right to know, was it the part-time, was it the full-time. It's really not their business. You had a job, and we stay on that ground. Because think about, in Finland we have uh, depending on the field, 37 to 40 hours is our full week. And in many countries that would be considered as a part-time job. So how do we know here that you put 45 hours in this task in different country and it was considered as a part-time, or it was on call and so on? I had a part-time job also a long time ago. I worked in a bakery, but I did here and there 100 hour weeks. I did more than a regular people because I could take extra shifts and so on. Just trying to point out that, yeah, you don't need to mention the part-time. It's also a bit diminishing your experience. And then we described the task. It's a really good that, yeah, gain experience, but leave the basic away. There's no basic task in the world. Every task is important and they need to be done properly. So basic away, and gained experience in a food packing, warehouse tasks, stock organization, and maintaining the cleanliness. It's a good start. And then after I came to Finland, I have uh, com- completed occupational safety card and hygiene passport. This one we already have mentioned, at least in the CV, so we can leave it out. And then I believe this certification proof that I'm serious about doing the job safely and professionally. This one we can replace that. I maybe just saying that you have all the qualifications ready and you have taken it care of it by yourself. And then we have a good mentioning. Good to mention. I also have the B driving license, which makes me a good match with the job role. And if you have driving license, mention it. And then even better, if you have access to car or you have a car, mention it because it will raise you on the list really high. Because not every workplace can get there by bus. It causes a lot of problems. Even if you would take a bus to work, mention that you have a car, and that one will raise your stocks a lot from their eyes. Sorry for coughing. But yeah, it was a good start with the cover letter. And then we have the last part of the cover letter. Uh, I I'm always on time. I work efficiently. I make sure no detail is missed. Okay. Uh, always on time. That's a really bold statement. And if I would be going through job applications, I would think that, okay, not there's always something what might come that maybe we don't make it on time at work. Something is really not up to us. So I would use, instead of always on time, you could say that, yeah, you are precise, and if there are changes, you will let the employer know straight away. Working efficiently, yeah, good to mention and make sure no details is missed. This one I could tune a bit. That maybe detail oriented, or you like to follow the instructions, and if you don't know what to do, you always ask. And then we get a bit CV, not CV, sorry, cover letter filler here. It says that my goal is not only to support myself financially, but also to contribute to success of the company. Um, I would leave this out. Why do we have jobs? How we got there that we get paid and we can maintain our own living. We can get things we want and so on. We exchange our time for money. So I would leave it out. And then end efficient production process. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped a line. It says, but also to contribute the success of your company. Yeah, that one I see so often that it has lost the meaning. And then another wise, it's not the recruiter's company who is actually reading the CV. This might lift a bit red flags. Then mentioning that what do we believe in? What are our values? Because it's also good to include your values. That are you? Do you embrace on being honest, hardworking? You name it. We all have different qualities and things we raise higher than the another ones. Like I raise honesty really high. Lying to people is not cool. And then hardworking, good working ethics, and so on. And here it says that I believe that maintaining a smooth and efficient production process is key to success of a team. Uh, we have again mentioning team here and contribute to that goal. I would just simplify this sentence in the ways that saying that yeah, my values are in a good, efficient working environment, and I want to do my job properly and and not aim to perfection, but you get the idea. Just to make it a bit more personal, I can guarantee that the recruiter who is reading this don't care about teams, goals, and so on. That recruiter has a one task. He or she has a description of the job, and then they need to find a perfect fit for that task. And if they don't, then the company starts to question that, hey, what are we paying for this guy? And so on. And then the last one, thank you for considering my application. I would be grateful, and so on. Yeah, I would cross it. Uh, that's again diminishing yourself. You need to raise yourself. Don't think about down of yourself. That's that's not how it works. Here, what we did, the biggest change we did for the cover letter, we added here a call to action. We mentioned that hey, your job looks really good. We believe that it fits to our skills and previous experience, and to be sure, we would like to know more about the job. And then we offered and put a call to action. We had a call to action, and then we had a solution in the end of that cover letter. We offered that hey, we are free next week to come any time to interview or have a phone call with you about the job. And if they wish, they can have a job interview same time. And bam, that got us an interview with a couple of changes. So if I want to summarize that, what did we do with this cover letter? It was a really good template from canva.com. We changed uh, beginning of it. We targeted it for the task what we are applying for, and then we removed filler from it filler words, filler sentences. We made it more personalized. We customized it for the job we are applying. And then in the end, we offered a solution for the recruiter that they would grab that solution. What happened when we sent a cover letter and the CV? First, we didn't hear about the company, so it went in the pile. When there's an open application, there comes a lot of paperwork for the recruiter to go through. And if you send it on Monday, by Tuesday, you are in the middle of the pile already buried under. So, what did we do? We called the company or emailed. Now I don't remember. One of them, both works. If one doesn't work, then try another one. We contacted them. We asked that, hey, did you get our CV? We are really interested about the job and so on. So we opened the talk, connection with them. They told that they have a lot of applications, and in 2 weeks they are going to start interviewing people. Okay, we got information. 2 weeks. We wrote it in the calendar. And we contacted them a bit less than in 2 weeks that, hey, you have interviews starting. That do you have free spots? We would like to know more about the job. And bam, we got the interview. And then soon we were in their office and they were telling about the job and so on. But what would happen if we wouldn't do this? We would still be in the bottom of the pile, even with perfected CV and the cover letter. And people who has been active, they get the places because the job market is now really place to be. But I can see at least at least one is watching the live, and same thing happens with uh, places when people are applying. Most of the people takes the short road, the easy way, and it's so easy to stand out in that crew, and the place will be yours. It just need to be a bit active, and that's it. And then have enough repetition, because maybe couple of places you apply, you got the interview, they didn't bring the results because they were another active people, and maybe they were more suitable for the task. But do it couple of times, you will land on the place, and so on. Let's see what I have next. um, yeah, I had a small summary here about the CV and the cover letter. Today, I didn't manage to anonymize the CV, so I'm not going to throw with CVs, but I will add it for the next time. So what we have talked today, we had two examples of a cover letter. One was just plain written text without forming or without customization. And then the second one was a template from canva.com. You get your templates from there if you don't want to create one by yourself. Modify, change colors, so on, make it to stand out. And then couple of things when we are applying: always customize the paperwork to match the task, because a recruiter will notice if you are sending uh, generic CVs around the world and it doesn't show that dedication or interest for the task. Because what is the recruiter's nightmare? They go through a lot of people, they see a lot of effort, then they will pick a worker from there, recommend it for the company. Company agrees, hires that guy. Then the guy works a couple of days. It's not a good fit. He's not interested. Maybe even it's hard to get for the workplace generally because the connection. Sorry for coughing. And then the worker quits or gets fired. And everybody has wasted a lot of time. That's why don't send out generic applications. Okay, we have customized our paperwork. We send an application out. Then, if we don't hear anything for 2 to 4 days, we email them or we call them. It's your choice. If email doesn't work, give them a call in 5 days. Uh, when you call and contact them, ask about the job, more details, figure out what would you like to know, and then try to agree for an interview in that phone call or email. And chances that you get that interview. And when you have gone through one company, you can go to same time many companies. Uh, Send to another company application, customize the paperwork, contact them, and so on. And you can do this even if you land on a job, because not every job we get is our dream job or something we really want to do. It's just to support our everyday life. We get money on a bank account, food on the table, and maybe something nice to buy. But you can start looking for another companies. You can still apply, and that's the most common way people are upgrading their professional career in Finland. So they keep applying for better positions. They tune their paperwork, they get qualifications, and try to land on a higher position. Because what is there to lose if you keep applying? Absolutely nothing. But that that was our uh, topic of a cover letters. That hopefully you got the idea. And if it happens that you found the template, you filled information, you don't know is it a good, will this work? Uh, you can contact me. I'll review it, give you ideas, and I still keep the right to maybe take parts of it, to anonymize it, hide the information, and then show another people that oh, my voice is going. Show another people that what we can do and what we can change. And then again, what people have been contacting me a lot, that while you are applying jobs, remember not every operator is there out of goodwill. They have a good intentions. You will face, first of all, fake jobs, the worst of any job. Here you can usually find a bit higher salary, offer very flexible hours, not location tight tasks, work from your home. Here they just try to fish your IDs, passport copies, to steal your identity. And then you will find out that hey, you open a bank account in some shady country for a company nobody knows about anything. Bec- okay, so need to finish. Start finishing. Not doing that well. Yeah, those those documents are sold in a black market, and people who wants to open a scam companies use these documents, and so on. Ghost job, not that evil, but many companies wants to just show the competitors, hey, we are strong, we are still looking for people, we have open positions, but in real life they want to grow their database, they want to go through what kind of people there are available. There is no real job behind that. But that's a good point to connect with the company and get your feet between the door. Maybe they find out that you would be a good fit and you have something to offer. And then non-responsive managers, that you keep sending messages, nobody answers. It feels that nobody's interested. Uh, you can try to call, you can try to ask details on the phone, but if it feels that you can't get the response out of the company, maybe the manager doesn't care, changing the job, it's not a good work environment. It raises a lot of red flags. So maybe you should consider leaving that company alone and then put your effort to better ones. So these were our words today. Patmila came here. uh, are you still online? I'll ask you, how are you doing? I'll have a chat open here. Now I have gone the material I had for today. I wanted to keep it short, around in an hour, because I'm still still a bit ill, recovering, and I wanted to test out that how this live will go. Yeah, it says that we have been 50 minutes live. Uh, do you have any questions now? If you have, I can answer. It's the perfect moment to ask any questions related applying jobs and so on. If not, I'll close the camera, I close the microphone, but I will stay a couple of minutes in the chat. And then later in the evening I will check the recorded video, cut my coughing away, and put a bit shorter version available on the channel. Okay, thank you. It was really great to have a Friday again. We saw a 5 people top peak in the middle. I know it's a really challenging time, but a lot. Uh, okay, Sulaiman Olaye asked that why do I get the rejection few minutes after applying? Like, if I understood right, that you have applied for the task and then you get the rejection email. Do you get a message straight away that, hey, sorry, you weren't our pick today? Can you describe what do you get? If you have a copy of that message, you can paste it in the chat. It helps me a lot. Uh, what I'm thinking, what might happen, uh, uh, companies are using a lot of AI without understanding how to use it properly. So really sorry for coughing. Um, there might be an automated system which will go through the CV and the cover letter. And if it's not a good match, it will send an automatical response that sorry, you were not the guy who we were looking for. What can you do if you face that a lot? Go through your CV. That is there something what would trigger that I would look for filler words, generic descriptions, filler text, something what might trigger it. You can also run that CV through me. Yeah, I get unfortunately messages a few minutes after applying for the job. Yeah, I bet there is two options. I is going it through, it gives red flags, or then there is a recruiter just reading from the screen and hitting straight away reject if it's not a good fit. But I would love to get more details and I could go this process through with you. Uh, I'm wondering, do I have your email? Just a second. I'll look here. Hey, I have your email. I think so. I think so. Yeah. I have your email. I can send you also an email. And if you want to provide me a copy of the CV, copy of the cover letter, and even better, link for the application online, and then their response. I would love to go it through with you and see what's happening there. So uh, I'm jumping a bit because I was thinking what it might be. So I might be, or then the manager going through just system and checking that, okay, no, click away, and system creates an automatic answer. But what can we do? We got the reaction from the company, so we can use this information, and that's a good trigger for us to contact the company and ask that, hey, what was it in my CV that got the rejection so fast? That maybe I wasn't clear, maybe I didn't put enough information out, and I would like to give it a new try. But to do it, I would need more details. Sounds an interesting case because it has happened to many people. They get the message really fast that, hey, sorry, this time you weren't our pick. But there's a lot of we can do with that kind of messages. Uh, do we have more questions? That was a really good one, and I would like to make a case study about it because I have also a lot of examples that how people have used AI against recruiters to get the job application because happens a lot on the IT field. You send application, you don't hear about it, no reaction. There comes a generic email that sorry you weren't this time a good fit, but there will be a new open positions. And then this one guy flipped flipped it on completely. He was thinking that what's the point? He has a good education, he has a good experience, and nothing happens. And then he made a application and CV as a joke. He added there that he has experience in AI-driven uh, team. He was responsible for making coffee for AI team. He used artificial intelligence to tune the coffee recipe and so on. He added a lot of keywords what that system could pick, and then he got an interview. It's not a good practice, especially not from the company and not something we should do, but it just shows the weakness there are in automated systems. Still have a bit coffee left. Hey, do you have more questions? Do you want to hear some examples, problems you have faced? No need to be shy with the questions. I really like to answer, and only way you can get answers is if you have asked questions. But okay then, I think we are good to go, and we will be here again next Friday. I just need to think about the arrangements because I think kids might be at home. Let's see from the calendar. Oh yeah, they very big chance that they are at home, but we will figure out something. But yeah, I'll close the camera microphone. I will be in chat with you if you have questions, and then we will see next weekend, not weekend, the Friday.